What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 67 of my Leicester City career mode. We're starting this episode off by renewing some players' contracts just before January hits, and they'll be available to approach on a pre-contract agreement. As you can see here, we have Hamer, Berahino, and a few others who are up for contract, whose contracts are going to expire at the end of the season. Jack Grealish is one of them, Koyate is one of them, Tyler Blackett is another. But the only ones I'm actually worried about at the moment are Koyate and Grealish, because mainly they're the only players that I really want to hold on to. I'm not overly concerned about Tyler Blackett or Berahino because they haven't progressed in the manner that I'd hoped. Whereas Jack Grealish, I just feel like there's definitely some promise in him, and while he doesn't play that often, he does have a high potential, and I'd like to go and explore that a little bit and see if we can get him up to like maybe a 75 or something, but he doesn't seem to be progressing at all despite being loaned out. And we go into our first game of the episode, which is against Manchester City at the City of Manchester Stadium, where we won last season at the end of the season in kind of bittersweet circumstances. It was the first time we'd gotten a victory over Man City at all, but it obviously tied in with the fact that had we won and beaten Liverpool in the same spell of games, we would have finished fourth. But despite beating Man City, we still only finished fifth, and it wasn't really good. But we did take that energy that we had from beating City last time and bringing it into this game to try and beat them again, because obviously now we're top of the league and we plan on staying there for as long as is physically possible. So in order to do so, a victory over Manchester City would go a long way, and plus it would relegate them from the top four and put them into fifth position, I think, provided that results elsewhere went in our favour. But we conceded a free kick on the edge of the area in the 18th minute thanks to a foul on Jesus Navas, who was using his pace to get in. It was Corker who brought him down. He got booked for it. Yaya Touré's free kick was as precise as possible, only a couple of inches off, and it hit off the crossbar. It went away. Then we come up to the 35th minute or so with Wilfred Boney coming into the box as he tries to take on Corker. He goes for the option of Nasri, who plays it into Oscar, who finds himself free in the middle goal side of the defender, but his shot went into the side net. I want to say real quick, if this episode gets to 400 likes before 8 p.m, I'll upload episode 68 at 8 p.m. today, but I don't expect it to do so because GTA 5 is out. I just expect a lot of views to drop this week, so that'll be the test. You know, if this does get to 400 likes before 8, then definitely there'll be another episode, but I understand if that's a particularly difficult thing to achieve this week. But as you see, any victory that we would have in this game would depend on Villalba and his form, and his shot here in the 43rd and the 45th minute, they both went in the same direction, and that is hideously wide of the post. But we come into the second half with our spirits raised a little bit because of those opportunities that we got, and in the 48th minute Villalba does well to seize an opportunity presented to him in the box. He goes for the fake shot and it's deflected off the Manchester City player and out for a corner kick before Caballero can get to it, and it goes out for a corner that Scott Sinclair, the former City player, swings in towards Corker, the man who was booked earlier in the game, and he gives us the lead with a very good header into the corner of the net that beats the defence and the goalkeeper and puts us 1-0 up. Not even against the run of play, in all honesty. City didn't have much to offer past the half-hour mark or so, but in the 52nd minute they came back in anger with Yaya Touré's shot being saved, and then we come up to just beyond the hour mark with Silva playing the ball into Sergio Aguero, who goes to take on Corker. He plays it back into Fernando, who is in a very good position, whose cross finds Oscar, and Oscar's header rattles the frame of the goal before being cleared by Tom Ince, and eventually we got a counter-attack going, but not much of one. Then we come up to the 79th minute of the game with Tom Ince receiving the ball from a throw out from Kasper Schmeichel. He plays it to Leite, who goes back to Ki Sung-Yong, who plays the return pass into the channel for Maicon Leite to run into, as he beats Vincent Kompany with the Ronaldo chop and gets into a great position inside the box to shoot before doing yet another Ronaldo chop and finishing tidily into the corner of the net to put us 2-0 up and put the game beyond all doubt and signify a pretty momentous victory for us against opposition who historically have been very difficult for us to play against. But Leicester City triumph. We win with a 2-0 victory, and we come out of that game with our heads held high and into our next game, which is away from home as well at the Stadium of Light against Sunderland, who are in 14th position. We're still top of the league by 1 point, and as you can see, Man City down in 5th place due to Liverpool's victory on the same weekend. So we've done well there in all honesty with those games. But Sunderland are playing with a 4-5-1 formation. They've got Van Aanholt, who's really good, and Van Wolfswinkel up front, who is very good. He's actually a really good player in this game. He's really difficult to play against. We've gone with the 4-4-2 formation with Baraghi coming in at left back instead instead of Robertson, and Zuccolini and Gardner making up the midfield, just because I thought playing against Sunderland it'd be a good idea to go for some sharp passes in between the midfield in an attempt to break them down, because I don't like playing against teams who play with this type of formation. Newcastle do it as well, and they're very difficult to play against. But we come up to the 18th minute of this game with Julian Brandt on the ball. He does well to get around Jones. He plays it into Villalba, who has Virginia ahead of him, and he manages to run into a fairly good position. He's just incredible with the ball at his feet and his dribbling ability. He gets in, he manages to finish with his left foot and put us 1-0 up. Doesn't he just always score? He's an absolutely incredible player. And I don't know, Villalba, he's just so good. We come up to the 24th minute of the game with Bridcut seeing his shot blocked. It comes to Rodwell, who intuitively backheels it to Van Wolfswinkel, who was in a very good position, but his shot was saved by the goalkeeper. And then we come up to just beyond the half-hour mark with Dwight Gale on the ball as he takes on Johnson and gets in ahead of Jones before looking up and seeing the pass to Villalba in a great position, who gets round Moreno with that dribbling ability. He goes for the shot, but amazingly it went just over the bar. I really thought it was going to sail into the top corner of the net as well. In the 49th minute, we come into the second half with Brandt's ball into Dwight Gale, a very precise pass, and Gale gets in ahead of Van Aanholt before shooting. It really should have found the back of the net from there. I think the Dwight Gale of old probably would have scored it. But it was saved nonetheless. It goes out for a corner kick and it gets swung in towards Villalba, whose header has to be punched away at the near post, because I don't think that man on the line was going to save it. But then Sunderland came forward in the 55th minute with Jaccarini on the ball as he crosses into Van Wolfswinkel, who sees his header saved in dramatic fashion by Kasper Schmeichel, who I really like. Kasper Schmeichel, you know, I signed Jack Butland. I see a lot of comments about Butland and Schmeichel, and I like playing Butland in the cups. He's actually progressing quite nicely as well. His rating is going up and up, which I do really like. But there's no real reason to drop Schmeichel, and I do tend to get sentimentally attached to the players who were part of the team when I first joined it. Like, we have Liam Moore, who wants to leave. I'll be really reluctant to let him go because I do like him. We've also got Jeffrey Schlupp, we've got Kasper Schmeichel, and I think that's everybody who was here from when we first actually joined the club. I'm sort of, I don't know, I just really like holding on to those players though. But we come up to the 71st minute of the game with Tom Ince on the right hand side of the pitch. His cross finds Origi, who doesn't get his head on the ball, but it comes to Brandt, whose volley goes just wide, which on another day could have sailed into that far side of the net. And then in the 77th minute, Sunderland came forward with the ball coming in towards Connor Wickham, who does well to win that header. It's headed down to Moreno, whose shot goes just wide of the post, and luckily we did manage to hold on and claim a 1-0 victory at the Stadium of Light, which leaves us with a very good defensive record. In all honesty, the way that we've been playing lately, I haven't been defending any better. I think I've just been attacking well and passing the ball around midfield well, and being able to I've been able to keep the ball away from the opposition's attack line, and I think that's really what it comes down to. But on your screen now is the squad report. It's going to be the last squad report until the end of January, just because I left this one till the end of December to do that on purpose, because I want to, if I do sign any players, I want you guys to see their stats all in one go, because it's really annoying going through finding a player's stats and putting them on the screen, and I always forget to do it, and it makes people mad, and I'm sorry in advance for that. But there's not really much to report on the squad report itself. It's a pretty decent one. I've been tempted to bring Juan Pablo Diaz back from his loan, especially if Gary Gardner does end up leaving and we don't get a replacement in time, because as good as Gardner is and as perfectly suited to our system as he is, he wants to leave. And I know, like, there are solutions to it, like send him out on loan, bring him back, offer him a new contract or whatever, but sometimes I just don't like it when players want to leave the club. Like, I get almost personally offended by it, and I'm just like, nah, fuck off then, you can go somewhere else, you moany cunt. But our team's pretty good. All in all, I say it every single episode, but Dwight Gale's lack of progression is just incredibly frustrating, and it's just a symptom of a game that hasn't really been designed correctly, despite what they tell us. But Villalba is in incredible form, and he is going to be key to any success that we have this season. But with the squad report out of the way, I went to the board. Actually, we go into January now. It is the 1st of January, the transfer window is open, and as you can see, Moore and Boyata both want to leave. But I went to the board and I asked them for more money, because I thought it was fair enough that I set these targets and asked them for 9 million. They came back and offered me 8.4825 million, which is a perfect round figure, of course, and I accepted that. So we do get some money in for January, not an awful lot, but enough to strengthen the squad in the necessary areas and just trim the players who don't really want to be there. So I went in for this guy Martinelli, who you guys may remember from the summer transfer window. He looks like he's going to be amazing. He's 20 and he's rated the same as John Stones, and I just think he's going to grow an awful lot. So I offered 4 million plus Liam Moore for him, and my backup, if that didn't go well, was to make an offer for Yora Sakore, who I'm not too mad about because he's quite small. I know he's amazing and all of that, but I think he's kind of a cliche signing and he is a little bit small. So I also went in for Fabian Delph, and he's valued at 6.5 million. Now, he is 28 years old. I understand that's pretty old, but he's amazing in the game. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to get rid of Gardner, send him back to his old club, and offer 3 million plus Gardner for Delph, which we'll see how those bids progress in the next episode. But if you guys enjoyed, please do leave a like. If you want to see another episode later on today, let's get this to 400 likes. And other than that, I've been El Dinero. Thank you for watching.